Hi everybody, I'm back for the full moon reading in Gemini for December 18th. So the full moon is in Gemini, that's an air sign. That is a very intellectual sign, very intellectual. So yeah, this full moon is asking us to take some time to reflect, which makes sense if Gemini is an intellectual sign. It would want us to kind of decipher some things, right? So it wants us to take some time to do some reflecting. Yeah, Gemini is an air sign, and that's ego, thoughts, words, lots of intellect, lots of information. We're sort of in a cycle right now, information cycle. So we may be learning some new things, gleaning some insight, hearing information, that type of thing. It's kind of exciting to do this reading. It's December 2021. Last year at this time, we came into the Aquarian age. Usually when energies shift like that, there's a period of trying to get used to the new energy. And the Aquarian age is the most healing age that there is. And so what we've seen, we had the Aquarian age come in a universal 5 year. 5 years usually bring chaos, change, great change, right? And how do we change things? We usually only, if we're real comfortable, we don't change anything. So to make all of these changes, there's been the chaos. So it's been really interesting. It's been a very interesting couple of years. 2020, starting to move us in towards that new age. And then the new age coming in last December. And then this year where it's been like this huge paradigm shift that's happening, and the chaos, and just very interesting. And we're coming into a 6th year, which is a universal 6th year, which is birthing new things. Birthing new things. It's home, it's hearth, it's love. So there's a lot of good stuff with that. So we're closing out 2021 and we're bringing in 2022. So that's really exciting. Really exciting. I know it's been a difficult year for a lot of people. Endings are a theme. People ended their jobs, ended relationships. A lot of people got up and moved, not just to a new house, but a lot of people moved to new states. And so there was a lot of endings and chaos, and yeah, so as we come into this new 6th year, I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see what we're going to birth. This full moon, of course, is ending a cycle. So we're coming up on the winter solstice, which is the shortest day and the longest night. Nights are about intuiting things, being still, going within. But also the representation of that, especially in this 5 year for me, as I look at the solstice, I say, okay, we've been through the dark, right? It's felt like a really dark couple of years. It has been a very dark couple of years. So we've been through the dark, and now I see us moving into the light. Because after we hit that shortest day and that longest night, the days become longer and light starts coming back in. I've certainly felt a lot of shifting in my own life energetically this year, and it's been really interesting. It's been a really interesting year all the way around. And I've also really felt like this huge sense of peace that has just come over me without my trying to, without working at it. It's just kind of come in and washed over me in the last couple of months, which is really nice. So I'm hoping that that's happened for all of you as well. But for right now, let's do a reading. Let's just see what the universe wants to tell us, so that we can glean some insight on the energies that we're working with this full moon in December of 2021. All right, let's see. Oh, geez. This is really, whoa. Oh my goodness. Wow. This is really something else. All right. So the whole thing that's driving this reading, what's driving our reading today, is the death and the rebirth. That's awesome. I mean, so we're going through a death and a rebirth. And we are. I mean, we're closing out 2021 and we're coming into 2022, right? So we're closing out a year. We're going through a paradigm shift. We all know that to be pretty evident. And yeah, so that's what's driving the whole reading is the rebirth. So we're coming into the 6th year, which is birthing new things. So that's exciting that came up. That's a higher arcana, and that's what's driving this whole reading, okay? Wow, this reading is just something else. So we are represented right now in this reading. Sorry about the lighting. One of these days I'll have a more professional setup, maybe. Maybe not. So we are being represented right now as the Two of Cups. So there's something maybe that we're not feeling comfortable with. If you look really closely at this Two of Cups, you can see he's kind of got her backed into a corner. And he's sort of like got his little tail around her ankle. She's feeling a little sick to her stomach. She's not real comfortable with him invading her space that way. She's not really standing in her power. If you look, he's got her back to the wall. So there might be something that we're feeling uncomfortable with, and we're not standing in our power, right? So we really need to, well, we don't need to do anything, I mean, honestly. But we could benefit from standing in our power. So if there's something that's making us uncomfortable and that we don't like, rather than allowing ourselves to be overwhelmed or dominated or oppressed or whatever the case may be for any one of you, because this is a general reading, so this could mean a lot of things to, a lot of different things to anybody who's tuning in. But rather than allowing ourselves to feel dominated, oppressed, and feel as though we're the victim or being victimized, really stand in our power. Stand in our power, okay? Now, it's also saying that as we're standing here like this, feeling uncomfortable, it's saying that above us we have some deceit. So the devil's deceitful. The devil is deceitful, and that's right above us. So apparently, whatever's making us feel uncomfortable, we feel as though we've been deceived. It's been some deception, okay? So whenever we've been deceived, or whenever we feel like we're being backed into a wall like that, really, we do need to stand in that power. Who else is going to stand for us except for us, right? So yeah, so there's been some deceit, and that's making us uncomfortable. Now, right across from there, right, there's this. And that's a beautiful card. That's that nurturing card that says your journey is nurturing you. If you look at that, there's like she's pregnant, and there's like an umbilical cord, and it's going from her belly button into these beautiful wands. Now, wands are about the journey. They're about the journey. And so you can see the umbilical cord is going from her into the journey, and the journey is bloomed. She's pregnant. I love that we got this card because we're coming into the 6th year, the birthing of new things. But this is a continue to nurture yourself. nurture your journey here, but also know that your journey is nurturing you as well. The umbilical cord is what's given us that nurture back. So it's an ebb and flow of energy. We nurture it, it nurtures us, okay? All right, so above that is the Ace of Swords. So nurture our journey, allow our journey to nurture us, no matter how icky things have felt. Things don't happen to us, they happen with us, they happen for us, right? So nurture our journey, really take a minute to think, really reflect, think, because we're being given opportunities to start fresh, start new. That Ace of Swords, that's our intellect, that's ideas, that's information, that's beginnings, it's beginning something. So we're being given an opportunity to take this journey that we've been on that has felt chaotic, and it's felt as though, you know, we're being backed into a corner in some ways. We feel as though there's been a lot of great deception. It's given us the chance to learn from that and to stand up and step into our power and do what's best for us. Do what is best for us, and continue to nurture that journey. And that opens the door for us to figure things out, what we really are wanting to do, who we are really wanting for friends, who we really want to spend our life with, how we really want to represent ourselves in the world, what we want to see in the world, what we want for the world, our own world. So take all of the icky stuff and really reflect and allow that to integrate and kind of learn from it, because that's where we learn. We learn from the stuff that makes us uncomfortable. We learn from the chaos. We learn from the pain. We learn from the sudden and abrupt change. Those are the things that we learn from. When we're really comfortable, we're not really learning anything. We're just kind of being in the same place. We're just kind of staying there in that same place because we're in a place of comfort. So we're not really having to learn anything, right? So let's nurture ourselves. Let's nurture the journey. Know that the journey, no matter how uncomfortable or deceitful it's felt, is allowing us to really bloom something new and start fresh, okay? Know that we really are going through some big things. You know, it's a paradigm shift, guys. It's a death and a rebirth. It's a death and a rebirth. And then above that, in between what's making us feel icky and our journey blooming into something much more beautiful, giving us the opportunity to look at things, we have the Emperor. Again, we've seen that a few times. So we're once again being validated, okay? We got validated. We've been validated twice now. I'm trying to get this. There we go. Sorry, it's later in the day and the lighting here isn't that great. So we've been validated twice now. We got validated with the last reading and the reading before that there has been some abuse of power in our life. So however you want to look at that, okay? So you can look at it big picture, like what's going on in the world. There have been abuses of power going on all over the world. We know that. We're in a paradigm shift. So how do we know what to fix if we don't know it needs fixing? Just look at it that way. And that's a much more nurturing way to look at difficult times, okay? That's what we're being asked to do, to nurture these difficult times rather than getting caught up in, the negative aspects of it. So we're being validated. There's been some abuse of power. This could mean anything for any one of you, okay? So it could mean what's going on out in the world with our governments and our leaders, our supposed leaders, because we should really be the leader in our life, right? That's giving our power away. I don't even like that we call them that, because we should be the leaders in our life. These are just elected officials or whatever. But it is saying that there's been abuse of power. So it could be that you're looking at it that way. It could be that maybe you've been working for a company where they haven't treated you very good. It could be that you've been in a bad relationship. It could be that you've ended that. You know, whatever it is in your life that is creating icky feelings, where you feel not so good about it, and where you feel that you've been deceived and tricked, you're being validated that you have been, there's been abuse of power. The Emperor, if you look, he's just kind of stepping on whatever's in his way. He doesn't care. It's all about him and his power. He doesn't care who he hurts, as long as he stays within power. So you're being validated that that is true, okay? So once again, you know, the validation is there for you. And above that, big tower moment. So this isn't going to continue for much longer. That's exciting. That's exciting. So the things that are making us feel icky, whatever that is for you, these deceitful things that you don't feel good about, the fact that you feel as though there's been abuse of power, you're being validated, there's a big tower moment right above that, a big shift. So things are about to change. Things are about to change. We're coming into this beautiful 6th year. So see what you want. Focus on what you want. And think about what you're going to birth. Because things are about to change. They're not going to stay in this chaotic, icky place much longer. Big shift happening. Big shift. Okay? And we talked about this. We got these two beautiful cards right here. Right? So all of this icky stuff is about to change. And, you know, all of this has been for our benefit. Life doesn't happen to us. It happens with us. It happens for us. And we're going through a death and a rebirth. So we got to go through we've got to go over all the bumps before we can get to the destination. And really what a 6th year is, the 6th year that we're coming into, it's not even a destination. It's about, now what do we want to build? What do we want to birth? What do we want to see? Where do we want to go from here? What do we want to create in our lives, right? What do we want to create? So I think that's a pretty good reading. I think that's a pretty good reading. We're going through a death and a rebirth. We're being represented as people that are feeling a little icky about some things. We feel as though there's some deceit going on. We feel as though there's been an abuse of power. We're being validated that those things are real. We're not being overreactive or whatever. This is all real. We're also being told that there's a big tower moment coming. It's going to shift everything. Things are going to shift around, okay? So we've got to have faith in that. It's going to shift around. We're going to just got to keep nurturing ourselves, nurturing our journey. Believe it or not, no matter how bumpy the journey has been, the journey is actually nurturing us back, even though it's felt kind of icky, right? And it's given us this opportunity for new things. So a shift in attitude, a shift in perspective, a shift in maybe discovering who we are, what it is that we want in our life, what it is that we want to achieve, where we want to move from here, what we'd like to see birthed into the world, all of these good things. So that's really where we should be focusing. Where do we want to go from here? What do we want to create that's better? What do we want to create that's better? Okay? I'm going to leave that at that. I think that's pretty good. Really think about that. What do we want to create that's better? We're coming into the 6th year. We're coming up on the solstice, the shortest day and the longest night. And then from there, where I'm at, we're going to start seeing longer days, more light. Just think of it that way. Pull in the light, pull in the happiness. Now, let's get some positive affirmations, because That was a pretty precise reading. We're going through a death and a rebirth. There's going to be a tower moment. We're being validated. But let's continue to nurture ourselves, stand in that power, don't allow ourselves to be victimized, right? The Aquarian age isn't about being victimized. It's about healing. We're coming out of an age that was about victimization, right? The Aquarian age says, no, no, no. None of that. None of that. We're not going to be victims. We're gonna heal. We're going to heal. We're going to be healers in our own lives. We're going to make things beautiful. Yeah. We're going to create something better. That's what the Aquarian age is about. And lots of technology. So, all right. So let's see what we get for a positive affirmation. You want to do 3? We'll do 3. We'll do 3 positive affirmations for this full moon. We deserve 3 of them. Okay. 1. 2. 3. All right, we'll take the one that we took first. Empowerment. You're more powerful than you realize. It is safe for you to be powerful. Stand in your power. Stand in your power. Self-empower. Empowerment. You are more powerful than you realize, and it is safe for you to be powerful. All right, so next one. Blessed change. Wow, these are great. These are going great with our reading because we get the tower and, yeah, we get the death and rebirth. So blessed change, a major life change brings you great blessings. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. And then the next one is rest. You've been working hard. Take a nap and get some rest. You've been working hard. Take a nap and get some rest. And this full moon wants us to reflect. And how do we reflect? We need to rest. We need to rejuvenate. We really need to go within. And if we're exhausted, we're not going to see things clearly anyways. So rest. You've been working hard. Take a nap and get some rest. Empowerment. You're more powerful than you realize. It is safe for you to be powerful. Step into your power. Right? And then blessed change. A major life change brings you great blessings. All right. And you've been validated 3 readings in a row. We've been validated 3 readings in a row that whatever it is that's chaotic in our lives, however we're viewing things, wherever it is that we feel as though we've been oppressed and overpowered and people have been trying to take our power away, we've been validated 3 times that it's true. that our feelings around that are valid and they're true. And for us to nurture ourselves and continue to stand in our own power and create our best life and maybe get that shift of attitude and some ideas, inspired thoughts and whatnot. So full moon is the ending of the cycle. So what are you releasing? What are you letting go? And then really think about that. What are we ending? We're ending 2021 very soon, which is exciting for me. I'm excited for 2022. All right, I will see you again on the solstice for a solstice reading because that's coming right up as well. Until then, I hope that you enjoyed the reading. Take care. Remember, this has all been for a higher purpose, a blessed change. All right, guys, until next time, take care. Many, many blessings from me to you.